Hi, this is PR Sundar. Welcome to question and answer session. And before going for the question and answer session, let me remind you this Sunday 11 a.m. options unlocked webinar. So this is a reminder to watch the program. And do you know some good quality stocks, the people call them as blue chip stocks. Have you ever thought why it is blue chip? Why not red chip or orange chip? Yes, there is a reason. If you go to a casino for gambling, you cannot play with the currency. So there will be a counter, you have to go and give the money to them and they will give you plastic chips instead of currency. So you have to use only those plastic chips for playing. Just like you have 5 rupee note, 10 rupee note, the chips that they give also will have values. Among all the chips, the blue color chip is the one having the highest value in a casino. So that is why the stocks with highest value are called blue chip stocks. So I hope you enjoyed this piece of small information. In every week, I'll try to give some information, something like this. Now we shall straight away go into the question and answer session. The first question, firstly, would like to thank you for giving us very useful knowledge. My question is on stock lending and borrowing future. I'm curious to know if I wish to lend shares for very active shares like RIL, Bajaj Finance, etc. Are they borrowed quickly? Just want an idea, process after order. Mr. Bhaskar. Let me tell you, in India, though the stock lending borrowing scheme is there, but which has not really taken off. In some countries, they do not have stock futures. So, if anybody want to short a stock, they have to short it in the cash market only. But if they short it in the cash market, they have to give delivery. So they will automatically come to stock lending and borrowing mechanism to borrow the stocks to give delivery. So that the people who are lending, they make some little money. Mostly people who are long-term investors and can get little bit of money every month by lending the shares for short sellers. But unfortunately, in India, there is stock futures and people who want to short the stock, they just go directly short it in futures market instead of shorting it in cash market and borrowing. Then why the stock lending and borrowing is used? So let us say I accidentally sold some shares which are not in my demat account. I thought I have it and I sold it by mistake. But the next day I have to give delivery. So if today evening I find out the stocks are not there in my demat account, I accidentally sold, then what I will do? Tomorrow morning, the first thing I will buy from the stock lending and borrowing scheme. So any share which I buy from the stock lending and borrowing, it comes to our demat account immediately so that can be delivered. Nowadays, stock futures have the physical delivery if the people do not square up by the end of the expiry. So if some people forgot to square up, if that results in delivery and if they don't have it, so they can use the stock lending and borrowing scheme. So other than that, the stock lending and borrowing has not really taken off in India. So that will take off if SEBI considers banning the stock futures. In my opinion, there should not be futures trade for stocks. Futures must be allowed only for indices, not for stocks. Is our Indian option market is type of American or European? There are two types of options. One is called American options The other one is called European options. If you look at the symbols for put option and call option and see, it is put option. So if you abbreviate it, it should be PO, but we don't use CO or we don't use PO. We use PE for put option, CE for call option. So that is because PE stands for put option European style. CE stands for call option European style. What is the difference between American option and European option? In American options, if the option goes in the money and if the buyer want to exercise on any day, he can just simply exercise. Whereas in European option, you can exercise only on the last day. Either you trade yourself, square up yourself, or it will be exercised at the end of the expiry only. But American options can be exercised at any point of time. That gives a lot of trouble for the people who are having hedged position. Say for example, I have Reliance Industries, long future, and I sold 1500 call option. Now the market has come to 1750, shot up more than 250 rupees. But I have nothing to worry. I have a future position and option position. But if you look at the 1500 call option, there will be no liquidity. The buyer and seller, there will be very big difference because it is deep in the money. But anyway, I don't have to worry because I have future as well as option. So both will merge at the end of the expiry. But one day if there is no liquidity, if one buyer of 1500 call option, if he exercise, I will come to know that he has exercised and it has been assigned to me only at the end of the day. So that means I have to square up my position automatically in the option. The next day, if Reliance gap down open, then I will be in a trouble. So in my opinion, American options are not good for the people who are doing for the hedging purpose. But luckily, we are having a European style only. I remember about 10-12 years before, we used to have American options only. I do not know exactly when, but about 10-12 years before, SEBI has changed the rule that European options has to be followed in India. Hi sir, will you make a small video in Tamil for your Tamil follower? We are in huge numbers wanting to see you talk and explain in Tamil. Sharvan, let me tell you, I am going to launch a Tamil channel where I will completely be speaking only in Tamil, and that channel will be a mix of everything, not only related to the stock market. How to keep stop loss for delivery trade? Is it possible? Actually, in many foreign countries, you can keep a stop loss for positional trade also. But in India, it is not possible. Say, for example, you are buying Reliance Industries at 1750 and you want to keep a stop loss at 1650. You can place the stop loss in the trading system. And there is a provision called good to cancel. So if you choose that, until you cancel that stop loss order will continue to be in the system every day. But in India, we don't have such facilities. You have to put the stop loss every day in the trading system. However, some brokers are trying to bring that facility in a different way, which means you put the stop loss in the system. If you do not cancel it, by 3:30 it automatically gets cancelled by the exchange, but your broker terminal will remember it and will place the same order next day morning on your behalf. But in foreign countries, the orders are lying with the exchange. So it is not done manually by the brokers. But in India, I heard 1 or 2 brokers are trying this. So otherwise, there is no provision for stop loss for positional trade in India. Hello sir, why break even at expiry is an important metrics when we do not intend to keep the options till expiry. Is there a way to find maximum loss before expiry? I'm not very sure, but I don't think that you can accurately find out what is the maximum profit or maximum loss before the expiry. That is because option prices are affected by so many factors like volatility, time decay, etc. So maybe you take a position for 1 month ahead view, and after 2 weeks, if you want to know what is the profit, and how will you know after 2 weeks what will be the wicks? So you cannot be very sure about all the other parameters. So therefore, it's going to be very difficult for you to find the exact profit or loss along the way. Nifty direction for the next 3 months according to you. And see, I am a trader, and 3 months is a very, very long time to take any view. And there may be some drug or vaccine can be found for coronavirus. The markets can go up. But right now, today, US markets are down because the coronavirus second wave is getting very bad. So in next 3 months, anything can happen. So it's going to be very difficult. But my view for the next few months is that Nifty may not cross 11,500. And of course, I may be wrong. That is just a view. At the same time, downside also for next 3 months, Nifty may not fall below 8,500. Sir, I have tested nearly 100 charts of Nifty, and if I do paper trading in Nifty and Bank Nifty options, 90% I'm correct, but I have 1 lakh only to trade, and I'm trading good in stock with 1 lakh itself. My question is how to trade in options with 1 lakh. Yeah, if you know how to analyze the charts, and if you can catch the trend of the market, and you can make money by buying of options also. So buying of options, it will cost you less than 1 lakh only. And however, you can even do selling of options also with some risk defined strategies where the margin will be less than 1 lakh. Sir, what will be the strategy or mindset for long-term investment for newcomers? For newcomers, the long-term strategy is very simple. Invest only the money that you can afford to lose in equity market, and always keep some part in debt funds where you get the interest, and so that if your equity portfolio is doing very badly, at some point of time you can convert that debt fund to equity to average it out. Equity market by its nature, you need lot of patience. Sometimes some stocks may not perform for 5 to 10 years, but in the next 2 to 3 years, it will give the return for the entire 10 years. The best example is Reliance. Reliance did not rise for the last 10 years from 2008 to 2017. But from 2017 to 2020, it has shot up 3.5 times. If you cannot have patience, then better don't come to equity market. Put the money in debt funds. What is the best profit and worst loss trade you have taken in the market in terms of percentage? I have lost in one day more than 10% of my capital also, and I have gained more than 10% capital in one day also. That's because sometimes I tend to be a discretionary trader. So I do not always follow the strategy. Sometimes I take discretionary strategies. When the markets move violently, I tend to gain a lot and I tend to lose a lot also. We are not able to sell or buy after 3:30 p.m. nor before 9:15 a.m. Then how and why such gap up or gap down happening? You cannot buy after 3:30, but however, before 9:15 you can buy. So there is something called pre-market that operates from 9 a.m. to 9:07. It's actually between 9:07 and 9:08. It can stop anytime. During this period, You want to buy shares, you can buy. You can place the buy order, but you cannot buy. You want to sell, you can place the sell order, but it will not get executed. So all the orders, you can place it, and if the order matching is done after the end of pre-market, and then at 9:15 the orders are getting matched and triggered. I will do a separate video of this pre-market.